Hello lovelies, welcome to the video today. I have a 12 by 12 mixed media layout today and I'm just going back to basics, I think, using just some paint for my background and some stencils and some stamps from Scrapbook. So this video is for my last Scrapbook post for the month of August. Are we really at the end of August? We are too, wow, crazy. So I'm actually taking my colours, I'm starting with paint for my background, and the colours I'm drawing from the theme from this photo. So this is a picture of Will at his birthday party this year. And if you see in the background, it's a Fortnite themed party. So that's where I've drawn my colours from, the poster in the back of that photo. So I've got a dark blue, a dark purple, and I have a touch of pink. Now, it's the wrong shade of pink, but still, it does the job. By the end of it, you don't even really notice the pink, actually. But yeah, I think a fuchsia would have gone quite nicely, but my fuchsia was all dried up. So I went with cherry pie, which is actually my favourite colour, but yeah. So I'm drawing these colours from the poster in the background. So this is a Fortnite themed layout. So his party was a Fortnite themed sleepover. I had 7-10-year-olds in the house, 2 TV screens, 4 blow-up mattresses, 2 PlayStations going. Yeah, it's little boy heaven. It's 10-year-old boy heaven. It's probably one of the best birthday parties we have. He did the same thing last year, but last year it was just like a sleepover, Fortnite. Yeah, I don't know. It's been his favourite party. So it's Fortnite themed. We went to Big W, got all the Fortnite decorations, and yeah, so obviously that's where I'm drawing my inspiration from with my colour theme. Now, I've recently got some new glaze and things, and I wanted to use, I get tired of just doing paint and things in my background, and sometimes I forget about layers. I forget to layer, and sometimes when I find I get stuck with my mixed media, it's because I've fallen into that trap of just putting down paint or ink and then just going from there. But yeah, I wanted to use a stencil, but instead of using more paint, I've decided to go with some silver glaze, and I thought that tied in with the Fortnite theme a little bit too. I don't know how, but it just worked for me. So I've used this stencil from Scrapbook, and yeah, I've used some of the glaze. It actually dried really quickly. I was quite impressed with that. At first, I thought maybe I'd gone too far with it and it didn't really work because, again, it looks like a hot mess, but all mixed media layouts go through a hot mess stage, I think, and I think this is the part where it really comes together. Now, I love these new number stamps. It comes in 2 big strips, but I decided to cut it up so I could use the numbers individually, and because it's a birthday layout, I feel like the numbers work, like a bunch of floating numbers all over the place. I did really want them in black to contrast with the background, and I think it really helps push all of that texture and paint into the background and really brings your focus on those numbers to the front. So it sort of helps everything blend together, if that makes sense. I know what I'm trying to say. It sort of helps everything come together, and it really works. Now, when I start with a layout, I tend to start with one particular thing that I want to use. Not all the time, but sometimes. In this case, I really wanted to use these stamps. So I went through my album and looked for a photo that I could do a layout using this product. I don't always do it like that. Normally I grab the photo and go from there. In this case, I've gone backwards and I decided on the product first. Now, I really wanted to use these stamps, and I thought it would work for either a school layout or a birthday layout, and it just so happens that I found this photo in my album. So I put all my photos in my albums, and then I go back when I have the time or the motivation, and then I scrap them. So my photos are laying in my album ready to go. So when I decided on using these stamps, I was able to go through and find a picture that it would work for. So I was really happy that this actually worked out quite well. I thought this would be a really good layout to try these out on. And I love using black paint instead of ink when I use these stamps. I love this foam stamps from Scrapbook. They work really, really well with ink or paint, but paint is just my favourite way to use them. When I want a really bold, crisp, especially black image, I like to use paint and a brayer. I couldn't find my little braille, so I ended up using my big one, which means I did make a bit of a mess, but yeah. So yeah, I've been stamping, I didn't stamp all the numbers. I think I stamped most of them bar 3, and I stamped them all in two places, and I really love how that just brought that whole background together. While I'm doing this, I thought it would be a really good idea to stamp his age on some white cardstock and turn that into an embellishment. And honestly, that's the only embellishing I really do on this page. I've said it many, many times. When I tend to do mixed media backgrounds, like really heavily mixed media backgrounds, I don't tend to embellish a lot, and that's because I like my backgrounds and I like them to really stand out and be the main focus. And yeah, so I haven't really embellished a lot. I'm looking at it now thinking maybe I might go in with some paint pens and just do a bit of mark making on it. Maybe that might, I don't know. But I'm looking at my paint pens, they're in front of me and they're really, really pretty. And I'm thinking, that would be a nice little addition. But for now, we'll just go with this. So I've stamped that he was 10, so I've stamped the 1 and the 0 on some cardstock. Yes, it's a card, it's a little note card that sits on my desk. I've got a stash of white note cards, and I'm just stamping on that, and I am going to, I've cut it out so it's got a bit of a white border. Now that was just to help it pop off the page because there are a lot of numbers on that page, and I really did want it to stand out, so I've left a white border, and then I'm going to put it on my layout with some dimensional dots. Now, when I hid my photo, I put some cardboard behind it just to give it some dimension, and I'm going to do the same with the number 10. So I'm going to put some foam dots behind it and a bit of wet glue on the photo, and that's just going to give it some dimension and make it pop off this page. So yeah, a really quick, simple page, but one that I really love how it turned out. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll be back real soon. Bye for now.